welcome to episode number 3 of the Smart Crypto Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Chuck Rivers. I want to thank you so much for joining in today. So today we have our very, very first guest on Smart Crypto Investing. We're going to be talking with Mr. Mike Washington. Mr. Mike Washington is from gtwebsystems.com. Again, that's going to be gtwebsystems.com. And today we just really talk about the philosophy of Bitcoin. We don't really go into any specific recommendations of what to invest in. We sort of talk about the philosophy and the reasoning behind it. So I really do think you guys will enjoy today's episode. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right. And Mike, welcome to the Smart Crypto Investing Podcast. Thanks so much for coming on and joining us today.
Oh, no problem. I'm happy to have for you to have me.
Yes, I'm really excited, man. You're actually our very first guest on Smart Crypto Investing. So we're looking forward to today's interview. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, Mike. So just tell us a little bit about your background.
That's always funny when I hear that, because I'm just thinking like I've done just so many different things. But in terms of background, let's say went to Morgan, did major in computer science. During my time there, I did like my own website design company. And then afterwards, I did like a startup. It was called Given2, and got accepted in different accelerator programs. Accelerator programs are like when programs that are aimed towards investing in startup companies, in which investors pull money together to help, like, you be in this 3-month program and they further your education in terms of developing and building up a company. And then after that, you have a demo day.
Yeah.
And from there, I've, been in so many different things. I've done like stuff in the government sector, corporate, and then also I'm doing my own company in terms of IT consulting, working with a startup.
Yeah. So because it sounds like you had like a lot of you had your hands in business pretty early in your I guess career at Morgan and whatnot. Yeah. So are your parents' business, like did you grow up under like a business regime as far as like parents were business owners, or are you leading the way for the family?
I actually have my parents actually didn't want me to do my own business, because they were just like the stress and the stuff, like the stress they felt like was not worth it, and the risk that comes with it. But it seems like it was naturally in tune with me. You could say personality or different programs and stuff they put me in. Mm-hmm. Like even with me doing my own business, I didn't realize what I was doing. I remember it was somebody that directed someone my way. It's like, I need a website built. And I've done websites and stuff before, but I never done it for like building for like an actual company.
Yeah.
I ended up like building a website off of this lady that wanted to sell candles. And she did like these real awesome, like custom candles.
Yeah.
I built like a page for it and was able to kind of build an e-commerce site for it, put some PayPal buttons, do the design, and people can buy candles off a website.
Yeah.
I just like the challenge. I mean, it's like I'm a person that kind of, you can throw me in the fire and I feel like I'm going to come out in some type of good way. I just like that type of challenge,
Yeah. What's interesting is when I, so a few years ago, probably around 2012 and 13, probably before that, I was really heavy into Toastmasters. And so I volunteered to be the VP of public relations for the local chapter. And one of the members reached out to me and says, "Hey, Charles, you've been doing really good. I have a business, can you help me with my marketing?" I'm like, "Sure." All right. So I started helping her with her marketing, and she was paying me, I think, I forgot, it was like small, like $50, $100 she was paying me per, I forgot what it was, like a month, or I forgot the arrangement that we set up.
Yeah. So
then that ended. And then all of a sudden she says, "Hey, Charles, I have a friend he has a book and he wants some help marketing." So, okay, cool. Send him my way. So we connected and I started getting money from him. So it's really funny how, especially when it comes to like, and at the time I wasn't even really trying to get into business. I was just, hey, this is just something I'm trying to develop.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I'm getting opportunities, man. So it sounds like you just take advantage of opportunities when they come across your table. So that's really, really good.
Yeah, it's the one thing I think in both our stories and stuff is kind of like you kind of expose yourself or put yourself out there, because he kind of knew to come to you, just based off you kind of like following, let's say, what you might call instinct or intuition or whatever. And that's the one thing I've been tapping into more, is tapping into going off of stuff with my instinct, because I know I have a tendency to overthink.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just be like, fuck it, let me throw that shit out the window and
Yeah.
just let me just put myself in situations and see what happens.
Yeah. 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 And again, I mean, that's how you learn, and that's how I learn. Like, I just hands on, just throw me in.
Yeah.
And so so the big question is what got you into crypto, right? All of a sudden, crypto has hit the scene hard in 2017. Bitcoin is going through the roof, and people are talking about altcoins and ICOs and whatnot. So what got you into cryptocurrency?
This year I've been doing like a lot of different investments. It kind of started off like something small and it really accelerated this year. So my brother, he's been responsible for like really introduced me to a lot of investments.
Yeah.
And we played this game called Cash Flow. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
by Robert. I haven't played it, but Robert Kiyosaki.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I haven't played it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's an awesome game for learning about investments. So after I did that game, it's just like I keep playing this game. I'm just like, let's do this shit in real life. So I've done like probably like 5 or 6 different investments this year. Just trying stuff, like recently, like done stuff selling house, done stuff with stocks, lending, stuff with like on mutual funds, and then I did stuff option trade, and then I did stuff with cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So cryptocurrency, when I looked at it, I was just like, I'm like with the same thing you were talking about, like throwing yourself into stuff, and like how you've been doing this podcast to teach as you learn and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, what's the best way to have my attention? Let me put my money in it and learn at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I kind of had the same introduction to cryptocurrency actually prior to 2017. I think I heard the term or the word Bitcoin probably like once or twice. Mm-hmm. But it was never on my radar, and I can't even recall the moment. And like I said, I'm fairly new into cryptocurrency. About a month and a half, 2 months into it, and when I started like really researching and getting into it, I'm like, wow, this is huge. And this is really huge, and this is an opportunity for us because we're at like the really beginning stages of it. Like it's not even mainstream. Like although it's all over social media and news channels are starting to pick it up. I think I was reading a statistic where only 3 or 4% of the entire world knows what cryptocurrency is.
That's interesting, 3 or 4%.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I got this from, like from a third party source. I think I forgot what website I was on. I think either on Reddit, somewhere on Reddit, I believe it was, where they said that how many people know about cryptocurrency, and then but the interesting thing is, even if it's higher than that, there's a lot of people that are still skeptical about cryptocurrency. Yeah. I mean, with good reason. It's still decentralized. So, it's you lose. Like if I want to send you some money, and I put the wrong address in, it's gone. Right? We can't call the FBI. Right? We can't call it. We can't call the bank and say, "Hey, I lost my cryptocurrency. Can we track and get it back?" No, once you send it, it's gone. So, yeah,
very, very true. Well, I would say like in today's day and age, they actually made it a little bit easier for it not to be. Like for you not to send it the wrong address, but at the same time, like you said, if you do, I mean, nobody can really do
that's it.
But it's good that it's been constantly maturing and being around, because I remember even hearing about this back in like 2013.
Yeah.
And when I first heard it, I was like, all right, this ain't nothing but a clever ass Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I've learned to kind of do with new investments and stuff is kind of like I've developed like an investing philosophy, like, if something sounds real crazy or dumb, but it still has some potential, whatever, start off with just a low amount of money that I don't care about missing, even if something bad was to happen.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%. And then of course, we'll get into the investing philosophy, because I agree with you 100%. Because I've had a few people reach out to me and saying, hey, how do I get started in cryptocurrency? How much money should I put into it? And in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, and this is what I tell them. I'm like, look, you spend $25, $30 a month on bullshit anyway, right? You waste $20, $30 a month. So you have to be okay with losing this money. Yeah. So take that same $30, $35, throw it into cryptocurrency, right? So invest as if you know that you're not going to get any earnings from it. And that's just the approach that I take, because I don't dump a whole lot of money into it. I just do a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And then from that way, I'm like, okay, well, I can see the earnings, and I can see it growing. So
no, that's very true. Yeah.
So what's your take on ICOs? I have my views on ICOs, and it yeah. So let's start there. So what's your take on ICOs?
Yeah, my take on ICOs have changed so many different times throughout the years, but right now where I'm at, ICOs is one of those things in which it's a new and exciting technology.
Yeah,
And I think what really gets people about it is really what is called like the fear of missing out.
yeah,
And the fear of missing out is when people constantly see things growing and it's just like, I want to be a part of it so I don't have regrets.
yeah,
That's what I really think ICOs really cater towards. It's that people like that fear of missing out and they just keep seeing it like, oh, we went from 8,000, now we went to 9,000. I don't even understand everything, but I know I want to be a part of it.
yeah,
I really feel like traders to that philosophy. In terms of the technology and the stuff behind it, technologies like blockchain seems very interesting. Like it's a new way of doing things.
Yeah.
But in terms of like how far it can really go, whatever, it has the capacity to really keep going up. But
Yeah.
it's still one of those things in which I feel like it's not built. It doesn't have no real foundation like on anything. Like what really makes it goes up. It just seems like marketing.
Yeah.
Stuff that goes up, and I feel like let me take advantage of it in the meantime. But I feel like at the same time, this is something that can potentially crash unless it has like something like real value. Because every time I hear people talking about crypto, they're talking about it in terms of making money,
Yeah.
in terms of the actual value that it has towards people. So it's one of those things that can really just go up and crash unless it, gets tied to something of real value to people's lives.
Yeah, it's sort of like they're day traders in the cryptocurrency world,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
They're trading options in with the ICOs.
Exactly.
And so when I first got started investing in crypto, I was really excited about ICOs. I'm like, oh wow, man, I can make a lot of money from ICOs, and I bought a coin at 10 cents and sell it at $1. Yeah. But when I started doing more research on the number of coins that were hitting the market, I'm like, okay, how can somebody just create a coin? And that's when the research came out. Well, it's just the technology behind it, right? Me and you could come out with a coin tomorrow, just copying the code for Bitcoin.
Yep.
Right. So call it SCI, right? The SCI coin. But my personal philosophy on ICOs is that 80% of and I think there's over like thousands of coins on the exchange. And there's different exchanges. There's like Bittrex, there's BitShares, GDAX. I know Coinbase only has 3 coins, but I always say this whenever you hear somebody mention an ICO or they're coming up with an ICO stands for initial coin offering for those that are not familiar. We're coming out with an ICO tomorrow. I'm like, okay, well, what's behind it? Like you said earlier, what's the business behind it? What is it built upon? What problem are you solving with what you're coming out with? Yeah. And you'll notice that most of them are just like bullshit, like you said, right? Like one of the coins in my portfolio is Ripple. Like I invest in, I believe in Ripple. Like I've done the research on them. I've researched the CEOs. I actually follow them on Twitter as well, just to keep abreast on what Ripple's doing. And they have a solid business built, behind their coin. Right. So I guess that's one of the things that I always let people know is that, hey, if you're looking at a coin, just research it, right? Don't pay attention to what people are talking about on Twitter. It's good to just keep those things in mind, but that shouldn't be the basis of a decision. Oh, well, Twitter's, a 10,000 hashtags with this particular coin. It must be what's popping right now. And it could be very well the case, but it also could be a bad investment. So.
No, that's a good point. You're going to have me look into Ripple too. One thing I wanted to do is do an experiment in which I invest across like 10 different coins and, hedge my bets on that.
Yeah. And that's why I want to get, so right now I have 4 coins in my portfolio. I at least want to get up to like at least 8 coins. But like I said, I might just throw my money at any particular coin. Like when I do the research, I'm going to read the white papers. I'm going to go to their website. I'm going to research all the owners of the company and look at the technology and trying to figure out what problem that they're actually solving. Because those are the coins that I believe are really going to make it. And this is like a long-term strategy. Like you were saying earlier, some people do it for like a quick turnaround. Yeah. I'm in it for like the long term. So I'll be holding Ripple coins for probably like 3 or 5 years.
You know what? You know what? More reason to listen to your podcast, so you can save me some time on research.
So what blogs or websites do you use to stay up to date in the cryptocurrency space?
The funny thing about that is I still haven't found like a good website that
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can trust, because I've looked through some websites and a lot of people just saying like they don't know. It's still that excitement around it.
Yeah.
If anything, I might go to Reddit or go to stuff where conversations are going on about like cryptocurrency, or talk to people about it in
Yeah.
terms of their point of view and stuff. So like my brother, he's done some stuff with researching. You have done some stuff with researching. My other friend Maurice, I'm recently looking into it. And then there's other things I might see. So I prefer like looking at communities, because I feel like they give me a different point of view or share some information that I normally don't see when I read these articles sometimes, or I just haven't found the right website. So that's kind of like my approach to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I think that the challenge is, especially for new investors,
Mm-hmm.
is that if they come across a website or a blog or a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
right, they don't know anything,
Yep.
then more times than not, they're going to take what that person says or what that website says as gold, right? It's like, oh, whoa, this person says this. Oh, okay, let me go ahead and take their advice. And I'm not immediately dismissing that, like even what we're talking about, right? Like somebody listening into the podcast right now, they're probably the first time they've heard of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And so the goal is to find, and this is my personal philosophy, is like, and this is how I learned about cryptocurrency. Like there's one podcast that I listened to. Like I had up to 3. I deleted one of them, and then I made a choice between the 2. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to focus on getting information from this one person,
Mm-hmm.
and then research what information he's giving me. And that's how I came to develop, I guess, sort of my philosophy as far as investing in cryptocurrency. Mm-hmm. But for newbies getting started, they just have to really be careful, because there's a lot of information out there, especially going into 2018. Like 2018, they say is going to be a very, very huge year for cryptocurrency. Mm. And you're going to be seeing information come out everywhere. There's going to be websites popping up, podcasts popping up, YouTube channels popping up talking about it.
Yeah.
So I think people just have to stay focused. Mm-hmm. And then once they develop a philosophy around it, which we'll get into next, then they'll be able to determine whether or not, hey, this information is valuable, or no, this information it serves me no purpose.
Mm. And also with 2018, why you say there's a lot of information, like a lot of stuff going to be popping up with crypto?
Just because the way it picked up steam really fast. Like if you think about like just I'll say probably about 6 months ago, cryptocurrency wasn't even in my stratosphere. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. Mm. And then all of a sudden I came across, I can't remember how I came across it, man. It was a Facebook post or something. Yeah. And I just got this intuition, this like intuitive feeling like, yo, Chuck, you need to look into this. So I started looking into it. And then all of a sudden I'm starting seeing like it's on Twitter, it's on CNBC, it's on Facebook feeds, and there's Reddit threads, and it's everywhere. So and because of what Bitcoin is doing, how much Bitcoin itself has grown, mm-hmm. I think right now it's up to like 11,000, or I know it's been bouncing back and forth, but yeah, I say that because Bitcoin has brought attention to cryptocurrency. Yeah, right, especially with the growth. Like even I think there was it was the Secretary of Defense or one of these high offices in the U.S. government gave a speech about cryptocurrency. Oh no, from the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, that's who it was. It was the director of Department of Homeland Security. He mentioned something about cryptocurrency, and the guy that I was listening to on the podcast was like, "Well, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. Like, why would the director of Homeland Security be talking about cryptocurrency, right?" Yeah. So. And that's why I say, like, once government people start talking about it, then me personally, I believe that's something that it's going to obviously hit mainstream fairly soon. But people are still, right now tied up with what Trump is doing and all these sexual allegations as far as these famous people. So it's a lot of dust, I would say, in the air right now.
Yeah, but yeah, it's interesting you bring that up. I actually went to something on cryptocurrency. Actually, what was it, on Thursday?
Yeah.
Talking about how now they plan to tax it because they're starting to see it as an investment. Mm-hmm. So they if you made over a certain amount, you should start to file tax, because I think Coinbase, they're actually going to start reporting stuff to on individual people to the IRS.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah. I definitely heard that. And I think that's why they ask for your social when you sign up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if cryptocurrency's goal is to move away from take the middleman out the way, I think that's the whole goal of cryptocurrency, is just to be like a consumer to consumer, business to business with transaction with no middle person. Should we still pay taxes on? I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a philosophical question, right? I mean,
yeah, honestly, it's supposed to be a currency, so it's kind of like, I think it's just kind of like, also it just kind of shows how powerful the perception of it is now, because currency is supposed to be something you just take your money, you use it to pay and buy for certain things, but since it's been going up like this, it's just like people, that's the view and perception of it is. And this is like the new gold.
Yeah, you're right. You know, and people are making a shitload of money with this cryptocurrency thing, man. I've heard there's been millionaires created over the past 12, 24 months, man. A lot of millionaires created just off this cryptocurrency stuff, man. So
yeah, actually, it was one person he was talking about he paid off his college debt with crypto.
I wish. Morgan's expensive, man. And I was paying out-of-state tuition at Morgan too, so.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but you know. All right, Mike. So what's your overall investing philosophy? And of course, this is a podcast on cryptocurrency, but in general, like what's your overall investing philosophy?
My investment philosophy on stuff is just I try to do stuff in terms of being an intelligent risk taker.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is it's kind of like just hedging your bets. So, for example, whenever like you do stuff like with investing or whatever,
mm-hmm.
you have to also understand that you're coming from a standpoint of you don't know. Like there's certain things, even though you can look at all these different things and all these different variables, even with all that data, you still don't know. So the main thing is you want to make sure that the coins or whatever it is that you pick when an investment, the
mm-hmm.
winners and the dividends and stuff that you get from your winners outpace the stuff that you're losing money at. So that's why it's kind of important to diversify your bets with stuff. Like, for example, like let's say the stuff with coins and stuff now. We see that it's been jumping up like 10 or 100x, 1,000x or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I don't know which coin and I'm getting returns like that, even if I was to invest across like 10 or 20 different coins, at least one of those coins, the way they've been jumping up, can at least pay off all the rest of the ones that lost money on.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, so that's kind of like the way I look at it. Another way is don't put money in that I'm afraid to lose.
Yep.
So like, it's just the same thing. Like whenever you loan money out to a friend,
mm-hmm.
I'd rather give money that I don't care if they never pay me back. And I do the same thing when it comes to coins, because you don't want to be putting like 50% of your net worth or it's like, if I put this money in, I'm trying to get rich and get paid for life. I don't approach investments like that, because I have done a number of different risks and stuff in which I've totally lost on. And when you do stuff like that, that shit really hurts, you know, when you be losing money that you really care about and you really want to keep a stable head. Because when you put too much money in it, it makes you emotional, and you don't want to get emotional with investments.
Yeah, you don't.
It's like you might pull out too fast. You might buy too much. You want to do stuff in which you can keep a level head and invest and put money in that you don't care about to get money that you can possibly care about.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that goes back to what you said earlier, the fear of missing out. Right. Yeah. If a particular coin is on the news and people are talking about it, people are like, oh, wow, this must be the hot thing. Let me go ahead and dump $1,000, $2,000 on it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the wrong approach to take when it comes to, especially if you want to be a successful investor, right? I mean, like some people do it, like we said earlier, for day trading. Some people just want to get in and just want to make a few bucks every day, $10 here, $15 there, $100 there, and they want to get out. But it sounds like, you know, you and then me, you know, we're into like long-term investing, like what coins are going to be sustainable for like 3-5 years from now, right?
Yeah.
Not what's the hottest thing. And like you said, the example I gave earlier is like, you know, you have to be okay with, you know, if somebody spends $50 a month on bullshit, right? Just completely bullshit, and they even forgot where they spent the $50. Why not toss it over to cryptocurrency or in an investment?
Yep.
Right. I mean, you have a better chance of getting returns on that than blowing that money on all the bullshit. So I agree with your philosophy 100%. That's the approach that I'm taking. Like you said, having a balanced portfolio, right? When one coin goes down, the other one goes up, right? So we're not really losing money.
Yeah. And also, it's interesting you was bringing up in terms of money put in. I would say do it probably based off the percentage of money that you had.
Okay.
It could be probably, people have to kind of gauge it themselves. It's kind of hard for me to say what percentage because everybody got different life situations. But
yeah,
like if you can, like if you don't care about missing 1,000, you could put 1,000 in there, or it just varies. Because I've seen it was kind of crazy. I've seen some like it was a billionaire. He put like 10%. They said he put 10% of his money in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
probably won't miss that, or he will. But either way, still just it has to be an amount that you won't get too emotional over.
I like that percentage. Okay, yeah, I like the percentage. Yeah, as I had to somebody I know personally, because I was kind of showing him how to do the whole cryptocurrency thing, and he's like, "Hey Chuck, should I buy a whole Bitcoin?" Like, no, you should not buy a whole Bitcoin. It's like $10,000, man. You flip out, you wake up the next day and it's like $6,000. You lost four G's.
Yeah.
So I told him to start small, right? Just throw 500,000 into it, and again, it all depends on what your goal is for investing into cryptocurrency. So,
yeah, totally.
One last question for you, Mike. So, what's one piece of advice that you would have for new investors? Somebody that's brand new, just getting into cryptocurrency. What piece of advice would you give them?
The piece of advice I would give them is, it's kind of like, you know how we was talking about before in terms of knowing your learning style or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if I'm going to jump into something real new and I really want to be a part, I'll put a low amount in there. Like it can even be $10, $50, whatever amount that you want. And most of the time that's good enough to get people learning. So I put stuff in terms of, and then learn at the same time. And then also I'll read all the information out there and around the stuff that I need to make me feel comfortable. Like I will study and like till my head hurts. And then I'm just like, all right, I've received enough information to make like a educated guess or whatever and talk to enough people and that I'm comfortable with it, even if I make what is perceived as the wrong or right decision. Yeah. So it's all about that level of like, what can you do to clear your fears? What can you do to do certain things? And it's also good just to be learning and seeing new things out there. So even if you don't put money on it, just be abreast of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. What was exciting for me was when my first purchase was Bitcoin. I put like $10 on, I think like $15 worth I bought, or being 20. It was between 10 and $20 where I threw onto Bitcoin. I woke up the next day and my thing was like up $1 or $2. And that was like, wow, I made $1 or $2 sleeping. Now people may listen to that and start laughing, but I'm like, look, I wasn't even working. I was sleeping and I made $1 or $2.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what sold it for me. Like that was my thing. Okay, well, I need to start taking this cryptocurrency shit seriously. And then that's when I started researching other coins and whatnot. So like start small, right? You don't have to dump 500 or even $100 into it. Right. Yeah. You can buy $25 worth of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And if it goes up 10% the next day, you got to return on your money. Right. So
that's a good point. You bringing it up. People, I think, because, you know, like with stocks, you have to buy at least how much one stock is worth.
Yeah.
But with like cryptocurrency, you can buy 0.0001% what it's actually worth instead of buying the whole Bitcoin, which is like 10 or 11,000.
Exactly.
So that's also a good point to mention too, because I've talked to people and they're just like, do I have to buy a whole Bitcoin? I was like, nah. Like a percentage of it. I wouldn't even worry about that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Mike. Well, we're at the end, man. So thanks so much for coming on and sharing, man. Really appreciate it. Where can people get a hold of you? If I know you said you have an IT company. So if people want to reach out to you or any questions, where can they get a hold of you?
You know, the funny thing about it, because I'm not really on social media like that. I'm on Facebook here and there, but I mean, my IT consulting company is gtwebsystems.com.
Okay.
Do creative solutions for people in terms of like we have startups in which like, all right, we need some crazy amount of stuff or whatever. And then we just set it up and just build stuff from like ground up or maintain what they already have.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in terms of reaching me, I mean, I don't know if you just put a link to where I'm on Facebook or whatever, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll link your website, and I know you're seeing that on Facebook much, but I'll link your Facebook below in the show notes as well. I mean, some people still, they'll want to reach out to you, and then when you're on Facebook, I guess you can connect with them. But again, Mike, thanks so much for coming on, man, and looking forward to having you on in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem, Mike. All right, talk to you later.